So you now know something about R data objects, but what do you do with these objects? Well, you can use functions to write commands to perform operations on them, which can result in new objects. For the more complicated processing of data, you can combine a series of commands into scripts, which basically behave like computer programs. This slide is just a recap from a previous video of how R commands are structured. As you may recall, you have the function, which describes in general terms what you want to do, and the arguments, which provide details on how to execute the function. When typing out a command, keep in mind that R is case sensitive. If you capitalize letters in a function name that should not be capitalized, or vice versa, R will not know how to interpret the command. Functions can be organized into packages, which I discussed in an earlier video. Packages typically contain a series of functions that serve some related purpose. When you first install R, it comes with the most commonly used functions bundled together in the basic package. If you are ever unclear about what functions are contained within a particular R package, use the help command. To be more specific, type help, followed in parentheses by package equals whatever the name of the package is. As mentioned in a previous video, the R user community is always developing new functions and by extension new packages for R. In the first slide of this video, I said that functions can be used to create new data objects. This slide shows an example of that. On the right side, you see a command that might look familiar from a previous slide. It reads data from a table in a computer file, specifically a CSV file named 2009 Education. On the left side, you see the name of a data object, which in this example is a data frame named myDataFrame. And in the middle, we have what is called the assignment operator. When you look at this, you should interpret it as follows. Execute the command on the right, and then assign the result to the data object on the left. In the case of this example, you read the table in the 2009 education.csv file, and you place the data in myDataFrame. In this example, I have used an equal sign as the assignment operator. When R was first developed, the assignment operator was a less than sign followed by a dash. If you look at this, and perhaps squint a little bit, you will see that it looks like a left-pointing arrow. That's intentional. It symbolizes that the output of the command on the right is being directed to the data object on the left. This notation for the assignment operator still works, and I still often use it because it reminds me of how the R syntax works. However, for the examples in these videos, I have used the equal sign because I feel that most viewers are accustomed to that. We are almost to the point where I will show you some hands-on examples. However, before I do that, I will spend the next video explaining how to specify values or groups of values within R data objects.